Right, we have one more Kickstarter, Ben. Which one is it?
So the last Kickstarter we're going to be looking at is from the guys at Monolith Edition. Now, uh, over the last couple of sort of months, they've been talking about their new approach to Kickstarter, and they've developed what effectively is going down the route of like a pre-order system with this game for Claustrophobia 1643. Now, they took the old game that was produced that had lots of pre-painted miniatures into it, and they've kind of revamped it. They've added new resin, sort of resin and plastic miniatures into the mix here as well. They've redid all the tiles, they've revamped the rules and all that kind of thing too. But they've designed this Kickstarter to be one that is practically ready to go.
Mm.
All the games have already been made, all the boxes have been packed and everything like that. All you do with this Kickstarter is that you pledge for it and you get it delivered to you. And Kickstarter for them was just a really good way for them to outreach to sort of like the wider gaming world and provide you with a different option for it. So just so you're aware, there's no pledge manager for this. Everything has already designed. This is effectively you jumping in and just basically buying the game straight away. This kind of gives you an added idea of security, which is interesting indeed. So it's been fun to see how this has come together. I mean, the project is funded, so people are clearly excited by the idea of playing more Claustrophobia and getting on board with this idea. This does mean it's limited, however. So I believe there's like 10,000 copies in total. There are still some at the time of recording this. So bear that in mind. But there's about 6 days left on the campaign if you want to get involved. And if there's more sort of need for this game in the future, hopefully they'll be revisiting Kickstarter to try and do a lot more about this as well. But yeah, as I say, it's been really cool seeing this sort of project do something a little bit different when it comes to Kickstarter. And it'll be very cool to see whether or not other companies sort of take their lead on this one in the future. But yeah.
Well, it's one of those things we've talked about before where a lot of companies almost see Kickstarter as a pre-order. And then some companies, once they've done something like Kingdom Death Monster, they physically can't go to retail with it.
Yeah,
so
it's too huge.
Going back and doing a Kickstarter specifically to get a reprint done makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
and this is just taking it to that next level. It is just going 10 days, 10,000 copies.
Yeah,
go nuts.
Although there's one thing I do like about this a lot, and that is some Kickstarters you see, if they're not in a really advanced stage where you're maybe waiting, say, 4, 5, 6 months to actually get the final product. Let's say that takes maybe a year and a half to get to you. You're sitting there waiting, and all the hype, all the desire that you had for it can fade a little bit. You know, you'll be sitting there a year and a half later, your pledge turns up, it's just like, oh, that. Am I still interested in that? You know, which can be a real shame because then you miss out on playing what could be a really amazing game.
Just to let you in actually on, because I realised I didn't actually talk about Claustrophobia itself. It's a game where you're playing as a group of survivors down in the underground tunnels around New Jerusalem, which is a human bastion that has been set up inside the underworld itself. So you're playing as human beings who have gone to New Jerusalem to sort of settle it down there as like a bastion, a bulwark against evil, and now you're having to face off against all the horrible demonic creatures that are down there as well. So it's a game sort of like a little bit of sort of a push between two players. So you've got the one side playing as the humans and the other side playing as the demons. As I've been talking about before as well, all the stuff that's gone into the miniatures for this looks really good. They've really sort of stepped up the game when it comes to the design of the characters. Obviously, you know Monolith from the work that's been got into like Conan and the like as well in the past, so you can kind of think about the quality of those miniatures when it comes to these ones as well. Obviously it's all finished, you can go and check out some unboxings. There's actually some articles that we did on tabletop where we looked at and talked to the guys from Monolith about this, so you can get, I'll link those down below as well so people can check that out, so you can go and have a look at some, not only an unboxing of the game but also some of the sort of deeper sort of look into the mechanics as well, so you can have a look at that too. But, yeah.
Well, it's an interesting one. I remember seeing they did a huge diorama again at Gen Con. They had a big glass cabinet, and it does look gorgeous, and it looks like there's some interesting mechanics to be had in this game.